Hey, adventure friends! Thank you so much for joining me for another Rollo's adventure story. If you enjoyed today's tale, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That way, you'll be the first to know when a brand new story is posted. Now let's jump right into today's adventure. Rollo and the giant leaf pile. The air was crisp, and the golden afternoon sun glowed through the trees, making the red, orange, and yellow leaves look like flickering flames. Rollo tightened his scarf as he ran outside, his boots crunching over fallen leaves. Right behind him, his big German shepherd, Odin, bounded happily through the yard. His fluffy tail wagged as he pounced on a pile of leaves, sending them flying into the air like confetti. Odin! Rollo laughed. I was going to rake those. Odin let out a playful bark and spun in circles, kicking up even more leaves. Rollo shook his head but couldn't stop smiling. Raking leaves wasn't just a chore, it was an adventure. Grabbing the big wooden rake, Rollo got to work, dragging the leaves into a huge pile. Odin trotted beside him, watching curiously as the mound grew bigger and bigger. After a while, Rollo wiped his forehead and took a step back. There, he said proudly. That's the biggest leaf pile ever. Odin sniffed the pile, his ears perked up as if he had just discovered something exciting. Rollo narrowed his eyes. Odin, don't even think about it. But it was too late. With a huge leap, Odin launched himself into the pile, sending leaves flying everywhere. Odin! Rollo cried, half laughing, half exasperated. The dog popped his head out of the pile, his tongue hanging out in a goofy grin. Well, I guess I'll just have to rake it again, Rollo sighed, picking up his rake. As he started gathering the scattered leaves, an idea popped into his head. Wait a minute, he said, looking at Odin. What if we make the biggest leaf pile ever? Odin barked in approval. Determined, Rollo raked harder and faster, gathering leaves from every corner of the yard. Odin even helped in his own way, grabbing small piles of leaves in his mouth and dropping them onto the big pile. Finally, after lots of work and a few more leaf explosions caused by Odin's excitement, the pile stood taller than Rollo himself. Rollo stood back and admired it. The ultimate leaf pile, he declared. Odin wagged his tail, staring at the pile like it was the greatest thing in the world. Then, without warning, Rollo ran and jumped right in. The leaves whooshed around him, soft and crunchy at the same time. Odin followed, diving right after him. For the next few minutes, Rollo and Odin played in the leaves, rolling, tossing, and burying each other under the colorful layers. Finally, Rollo lay on his back, staring up at the sky through the fluttering leaves. Odin flopped down beside him, panting happily. That was the best leaf pile ever, Rollo said with a sigh. Odin gave a happy woof in agreement. As the sun began to set, Rollo sat up, brushing leaves from his hair. All right, buddy. One last time, let's rake it all back up before we go inside. Odin tilted his head, then suddenly took off running right through the pile, scattering it everywhere again. Rollo groaned, then laughed. Odin, you are impossible. Shaking his head, he picked up the rake one more time, knowing that no matter how many times he cleaned it up, Odin would always find a way to turn it into an adventure. And honestly, that's what made it fun. The end.